hated swimming it out, man. Swimming it on out. That's a chunk. Check that girl out. I was just pitching that jig in there, and that skirt kind of, like I said, it kind of like, it flares in that. And when I swam it on out, I just felt this really dead kind of weight. And there she was. Let's get her back. It's a chunk up. Lake used to hold her. Big girls. Dude, that's a giant. How about that? That's a chomp, dude. That's a 6 and change right there. Check that girl out. That's some Starflash Skirts. Drop this pole. Check that chonka out. She's got bit once by just like a 2-pounder. Then I caught a 5. Been like 10 yards down in this girl lady. Sweet. Guys, I want to talk to you about tricking out your jig a little bit. It's just a real simple fix, but it has to do with what we've talked about in the past, where you're focusing on details and those details end up translating into bigger fish. And it's something I was put on to. It's never something I really focused on too much, and that's jig skirts. You guys know the jigs that I use, my two go-to are the D&M Custom Baits Mat Rat and the Gambler Jigzilla. Both are punching style jigs. I use them to pitch cane, cattails, round reeds, whatever you want to call them, as well as Kissimmee grass, pads, you name it. Whatever I want to get down in, these are the two jigs I go to. But one thing I've never really focused on is what kind of skirts I have on my jigs. And this new product that I started using kind of blew me away. We ran into some bedfish. A lot of you guys have probably saw the Facebook post of the 30 pounds, and we've been catching some big ones. And I really want to say that a lot of it has to do with the skirt. And the skirt that I'm talking about is called the Starflash Skirt. They got some right here. What makes these guys really different from just your generic average skirt is that they have rounded strands, they have a higher strand count, and they have kind of a flash kind of laminated or sprayed into them. When you're talking about pitching cane, pitching cattails, you're trying to mimic brim. Whether you're pitching to blind pitching beds, or whether you're just pitching around brim beds to trigger bass that are swimming around eating the brim, you really want to get that flare and that action out of the jig that's going to trigger those fish to eat. And these guys blow my mind. I don't trim them at all. I don't thin them. But in the water, they absolutely flare. I mean, I got one on. This is a Powell 775. This is what I'm using to pitch all my jigs. It's got a nice soft tip on it, especially for those bedding fish that you can't see. It allows you to kind of shake the jig and sort of feel for those dead weight bites. Just a great tip and a lot of backbone. But you can even just see out of the water. This has one of the Starflash Skirts on it, and it just flares out. And when you get it underwater, she almost breathes back and forth. And it is the coolest thing. And I can just imagine the bass when they're down there on the beds seeing this thing and getting agitated, man. Agitated. But it's just got a great sort of flow and complexion to it. And it's something that I've never really thought about. It's interesting how those little details can kind of slip past your perspective, but it's definitely something you want to try out. Just a simple trick out on the jig, but it can make a huge difference. It did for me, man. It put 30 in the boat when we would have probably had like 15 pounds, man. It literally doubled probably what we would have came in with. But a very cool concept, just the rounded strands. They have that laminated glitter in them and a higher strand count to give that better flare. But it is the deal. I change out all my D&M custom baked mat rats as well as my Gambler Jigzillas. And when you pair it up with this little girl right here, my Powell 775, it's a mean combo. But try it out. Starflash Skirts, they're bad. Just that's all you can say. They're bad. Definitely when you put them in the water, put them in your hand and start pitching them, you're going to see the difference. Tight lines, guys. I hope this helps you out.